Alright, we're back with another Gen 4 Wi-Fi battle, this time against John Madden. Not the guy from the NFL, although that really would be something, but against the guy in my Discord server who responded to my request for a battle. So if you are looking to do some Gen 4 Wi-Fi battling yourself, come on over, have a good time. Anyway, this battle was thoroughly excellent, and I am very excited to bring it to you. So, I am running an aggressive offense team, and judging by his Azelf lead, so is he. Now, with Starmie against Azelf, you're always running the risk of eating a Choice Band U-turn, but you can't play afraid. You can't go on the back foot on turn 1 with offense unless there's no other choice. So, I go for Hydro, I outspeed, and I bring him into the red. So this signifies a bulky Azelf lead, meaning that I feel confident in clicking Ice Beam turn 2, knowing that the chance of him being max speed and winning the speed tie and blowing me up is extremely small. So I Ice Beam, take him out, good start. So the nice thing about Starmie is that it is very hard to outspeed without a Choice Scarfer, and non-U-turn Choice Scarfers are very exploitable early in the game, especially Scarf Rotom, who gets completely destroyed by my bulky Choice Band Tyranitar. Now, he wanted to run Rotom Heat, and didn't know that you need an action replay code for that to work on Wi-Fi. Fortunately, in this game, it doesn't make much of a difference, because even the extra bulk on Rotom isn't enough to save it from a Choice Band Ttar Pursuit while staying in conjunction with Sand. So he gets a Para-full Para, which is pretty nasty, and then tries to escape with the Para, but this time Pursuit connects, and because he switched and died to Pursuit, then one of my favorite things in Pokemon is triggered, the Acid Rain glitch, which essentially means that Sandstorm is hitting twice. So observe Machamp's HP. Look, Rain continues to fall, that's a glitch, and it's hit by Sand as a result, what? And now Sandstorm rages and it's hit by Sand again. So, luckily I have a great answer to Machamp in the form of my Lum Metagross, which is faster and can take a Dynamic Punch or two. So, coming on the sub, my plan is to Meteor Mash, break the sub, eat the Dynamic Punch, get the Lum out of the confusion, then set up Stealth Rock as he switches. Because on an offensive team like this, the Machamp is going to be Custat Berry, which takes advantage of it being at low HP, so there's no reason why he would try to throw it away, thinking, oh, well, it's low on HP, it's useless. Because being low on HP is exactly what Custat Machamp wants, so it can outspeed something later in the game, something crucial. So, it goes according to plan. No crits, and from the D-Punch, which is nice, and Meteor Mash cannot miss because of Machamp's No Guard, so the Acid Rain is actually really helping him get down into Custat range, so that's funny. Anyway, I'm getting up rocks on the switch now, and he goes to his Jirachi, so his last are definitely going to be Ttar, and then a big slugger like Gyarados or Dragonite. So I don't have Earthquake on this Metagross, I have Rock, Smash, Bullet Punch, and Explosion, and he makes the smart move and goes for sub, just to keep me honest, just to see if I really do have Earthquake or not, because Lum Metagross does often not run Earthquake. Aqua Berry sets do, because they like to stay in and KO Heatran and Infernape without needing to blow itself up, but with Lum, then you're not doing that, so good move on his end, and I just blow it up because I don't want to switch around this Jirachi. Switching around this Jirachi set with rocks up is a pain. So I go to Starmie, and I could go for Hydro Pump, and I think that it would be powered up by the rain, quote-unquote, but I wasn't 100% sure, and more importantly, I didn't want to risk 80% accuracy, which could potentially make the game spiral out of control. So I decided to focus on what I could control, which was getting the spin, which is important because I have a Dragonite, and thanks to Inner Focus, Dragonite cannot flinch, so it can help against Jirachi, it can extreme speed through Machamp's Custat Berry, it'll outspeed and slam Ttar, and the last is probably not going to love facing it either. So it's a big threat, and I decided clearing the field was fine, so I just was going to pray that I didn't full Para as he tried to set up a sub and would break it with T-Bolt, but thankfully he just Iron-Headed me, staying at full health, so good move on his end. Now, I go for the trick with Latias, hoping that he stays in, because that will cripple the Jirachi. And if he is fearful of the trick and switches out to Ttar, that was fine too, because on this kind of team, it's not going to be a very fast Ttar, it's going to be a bulky, strong set like Choice Band or Mixed. So Latias would still outspeed, even though I would give the Ttar a Scarf, and then I would Healing Wish to my own Ttar, heal it back up, and then KO something of his. My endgame here is my Trick Room Bronzong, which is great against offense. I'm trying to keep it as hidden for as long as possible and at full health, so it can tank hits and dish them back out. So the Ttar comes in. I arguably should have Healing Wish there because he was locked into Body Slam. And if he did switch to Ttar, then I wouldn't have wound up taking a hit. But I was thinking, if he stays in and just spams Body Slam, I can take 2 more. I can take 2 without dying, even with Acid Rain. So I can get some extra chip on the Jirachi, which could be nice for Bronzong, because they can take a hit from Zong. And if he goes to Ttar, I'm just going to Healing Wish anyway, as planned. And I could have Healing Wish there, that was minor, actually might come into play later. Anyway, so my Ttar is slow because it's meant to be used alongside Trick Room Zong, so I know I'm probably going to be slower than his Ttar. So I switch out to Dragonite, eat the superpower nicely, and he's definitely not doing banded damage, so mixed. Now, my Dragonite outspeeds even max speed positive Ttar, and smacks it in with a superpower. He doesn't know what set I am. He doesn't want to switch into it with a weakened Machamp, a Jirachi, which he wants to keep at full HP, and his last, which is probably Stealth Rock weak, because that's a common structure on offensive teams. Azelf, Scarf Rotom or Latias, Jirachi and Ttar, a fighting type, so Breloom or Machamp, and then Gyarados or Dragonite. So his last is Dragonite, so I recognize this as August's team, and that team runs Choice Band Dragonite, but either way, I want to preserve my own Dragonite, because of how before we said it's good against Jirachi and Machamp, whereas Ban Ttar, it might outspeed Machamp, but not so good against Jirachi, so it's worth sacking. And if I had Healing Wish to it at full HP with Latias and not let it take that Ttar Crunch, it might have been able to live that banded Dragonite Outrage, and would have been another turn of Sand and another turn to potentially get him Confusion. So that Healing Wish, didn't seem... The late Healing Wish didn't seem like a big deal, but it did have big consequences, so that does a lot of damage. But Bronzong's got the Trick Room up, and Dragonite's in Gyro Ball range. Now I want to Earthquake and hit the Jirachi on the switch, but I decide, you know what, he's not going to risk the Jirachi. I'm just going to Gyro Ball. I cannot risk Dragonite staying in. And he ends up sacking Machamp, so it didn't really matter. Although there was a chance that Earthquake wouldn't have KO'd him, even with Sand. Because when I switch my Ttar back in, then I reset the Acid Rain. I forgot to mention that. So Jirachi comes in, and I've got 3 turns of Trick Room left. So I can Earthquake it, and then Explode, because Explosion won't KO it from here. But what I don't want to happen on the next turn is for him to switch to Dragonite after he hits me with his Fire Punch, because if he switches to Dragonite and I use Earthquake here, he clicks Extreme Speed twice. And then my Dragonite will die to Life Orb Recoil, and he'll still have a Jirachi. So that's why I go for the Explosion there. But I also didn't want to go for the Explosion immediately on Jirachi, because then my Dragonite would have to take more damage, and would wind up losing to his Dragonite. So since my Dragonite is the bare minimum speed for Mixed Knight, just outspeeding Max Ttar, I'm confident that I am going to be faster under Trick Room. This is the last turn of Trick Room. So I just go for the Draco Meteor because most CB Knight run at least 200 speed EVs. I run 192 and a lot of them run max. So I just go for the Draco Meteor because I was doing calcs with extreme speed and it was a roll at best. And I was like, you know what, I can't rely on that roll. So I'm just going to go for the Draco, knowing that, being confident that I was going to outspeed him in Trick Room. And I get the Draco off and win the game. So that was a really great game, really tight. I encourage you to watch it again. I have a music version in the comments if you're into that kind of thing. It's because I really enjoy the offense-on-offense dynamic of the clashing of our teams. So it turns out his Dragonite had the exact same speed stat as mine. So it had some HP EVs, making Extreme Speed an even worse move. So I definitely made the right call there, and I got that speed tie after losing the 50% chance that Dragonite would have a 3-turn Outrage, because if it did, then Bronzong would KO it with Gyro Ball, and then the game would definitely be over. So thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you next time.